Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Shevuot. We are up to Perek Gimel, Mishnah Chet. Today's Mishnayot should be Le'ilui Nishmat, Neria ben Svetlana, Ranbai Eliyahu ben Burcha Israelov, Chana bat Miriam, Sason ben Rain, Yeshua ben Shifra, Menuchatam began Eden, Amen. Abdil ben Chaim lechaim v'derefua shenemav Daniel Shalom ben Rosa, Betor Shach Chulei Yisrael and Achlama Merav Binyamin Od Zion Chai ben Dvorah. The Mishnah now explains what a vain oath is. The Mishnah will list three types of oaths that are considered vain. Ezohi Shevuot Shav. What is a vain oath? The first type, Nishba lishanot et yadua la'adam. It is an oath in which a person swears to contradict what is known to people. He contradicts a fact known to at least three people, as the Gemara explains in Masechet Shevuot, page 29a. If the fact was known by fewer than three people, the oath is considered false rather than vain, and the swearer has violated the prohibition of Vaikat chapter 19 verse 12, Lo tishavu bishmi lashaker, do not swear falsely by my name. Amar al ha'amud shel even shu shel zahav. For example, what's an oath in which a person swears to contradict what is known to people? For example, he swore about a stone column that it is made of gold, Vala ishu isha, or about a certain man that he is a woman, Vala isha shehi ish, or about a certain woman that she is a man. Similarly, swearing about something that is generally known to be true is also a vain oath. For example, swearing that a stone is a stone, as the Rambam writes in Hilchot Shevuot, chapter 1, halacha 5, based on the Yerushalmi. The second type, Nishbal davar she'i efshar, an oath in which a person swears about something that is impossible. Im lo raiti gamal shepoach ba'avir, for example, I swear that all the fruit of the world should be forbidden to me if I did not see a camel flying in the air. The oath taker's intention is clearly not to forbid the fruit. Had he wished to do so, he would not have said anything about seeing a flying camel. Rather, his intention is to swear that he saw a camel fly, and he adds that he should be forbidden to eat fruit only to make his statement more forceful. His statement is therefore considered a vain oath. Or if I did not see a snake like the beam of an olive press, meaning it was streaked along its back like the ridges on the beam of an olive press. However, if he said that it was as thick as a beam, this would not be a vain oath, since there are snakes that are this thick. Now, the beam of an olive press is a heavy wooden beam that is placed on top of the olives to squeeze out their oil. The third type, Amar la'edim bo va'iduni. If a person said to witnesses who know things that would be helpful to him, helpful to him in court, come and testify for me, Shevuot shelo ni'idach, and they replied, we swear that we will not testify for you. This is a vain oath. Nishba levatel et mitzvah, because this is a case of someone swearing to violate a mitzvah. The Torah in Vayikra, chapter 5, verse 1, requires a witness to testify if he has information that is helpful to someone in court, and that person asks him to testify, as the Rav writes, and the Shulchan Aruch writes in Choshen Mishpat, chapter 28, halacha 1. Shelo la'asot sukkah v'shelo litol lulav v'shelo aniach tefillin. Similarly, if someone makes an oath not to make a sukkah and sukkot, the Mishnah means he made an oath not to live in a sukkah, as required by the Torah in Vayikra chapter 23 verse 42, not to take a lulav on Sukkot, or not to put on tefillin. He is also guilty of making a vain oath. Zohi shvuat shav shechayvin al zedona makot v'al shigrata patur. This, referring to all the oaths mentioned in this Mishnah, is the vain oath for which a person is liable to malkut for intentionally violating the prohibition, and for which he is exempt from any penalty for violating it unintentionally. Therefore, when Mishnah 6 taught that a person is not liable for violating an oath he made not to do a mitzvah, it meant only that he is not obligated to bring the variable chatat offering for violating an oath of declaration. However, he is accountable for making a vain oath, and if he did so intentionally, he is subject to malkut. And that is the end of Mishnah Chet. Mishnah Tet discusses another example of a vain oath. Shivua shochal kikar zu, shivua shelo ochlena. If a person says, I swear that I will eat this loaf of bread, and then he says, I swear that I will not eat it, harishona shivuat bitui, vashniya shivuat shav. The first oath is an oath of declaration, and the second one is a vain oath, since it is an oath to violate a mitzvah. Once he swore to eat the loaf, he is obligated by Torah law to eat it. So the second oath not to eat the loaf is an oath to violate a mitzvah, which is a vain oath, as we learned in the previous Mishnah. Therefore, achalah avar l'shvuat shav. If he ate the loaf as he originally swore to do, he violated only the prohibition against the vain oath. His second oath was a vain oath since it was an oath to violate mitzvah, and he was guilty of it as soon as he made it. It makes no difference whether he ate the loaf or not. However, if he ate the loaf, he at least fulfilled his oath of declaration, and he would violate only the prohibition against the vain oath. Lo achalah avar l'shvuat bitui. But if he did not eat it, he has violated an oath of declaration as well, since he did not fulfill his first oath. And that is an Abotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.